I'm Teal Fristow, the designer of Corporate America. In this video, I want to explain how legislation works in the game. One of the benefits for being president in Corporate America is you decide what legislation passes and what doesn't. Let's take a closer look at some of the legislation cards. The first thing that you'll notice is that right above the name, the rules explain what the legislation does. Additionally, the pictures help remind you about what the cards do. In the case of a card with a light blue background, this will permanently boost the income of certain types of businesses. In the case of tax loophole, all finance businesses will permanently make extra money. Cards with a light pink background indicate a permanent detriment to a certain type of business. In the case of sin tax, all sin businesses make less money. Cards with a dark blue background allow the president to divvy out money one time to the owner of a specific type of business. In the case of Bridge to Nowhere, the president can give out money to the owners of transportation businesses. Cards with a dark red background indicate a one-time fine that owners of specific types of businesses have to pay. In the case of disaster fines, all polluting business owners have to pay a hefty sum. In addition, there are lots of cards that do special things, but you'll have to read the rules to know what they do. The next thing that you'll notice is that certain legislation has the law icon, while other legislation does not. Legislation with the law icon is permanent. When this legislation is passed, it's put off to the side of the board and will continue to affect the game until it's revoked. Legislation without the law icon has a one-time effect. When it's passed, the president does whatever the rules say and then discards the card. The last thing that you'll notice is that some legislation has ideologies associated with it. Occasionally, protesters will show up demanding the president passes legislation of a specific type of ideology. This can constrain what the president does, forcing him or her to pass legislation he or she might not otherwise want to. That's basically all you need to know about legislation in corporate America to get you started. There's lots of different legislation cards in the deck, but I'll keep most of them a surprise for now. Join me in my next video when I explain how to set the game up.